Beneath the vast skies of the American heartland, a seismic shift is underway. It's not happening in Silicon Valley or Washington, but in the quiet, fertile soil that feeds the nation. A new land rush has begun, and the players are some of the most powerful people and entities on the planet. At the forefront is Bill Gates. The tech visionary is now America's top private farmland owner, controlling a staggering 270,000 acres. This isn't a hobby, it's a calculated, multi-billion-dollar acquisition of the very ground beneath our feet. He's not alone. Jeff Bezos is buying massive ranches, and Wall Street is aggressively moving in, with financial giants packaging farmland into investment funds, turning a life-sustaining resource into a product traded like any other stock. Simultaneously, a more alarming trend is accelerating. Foreign-owned agricultural land has nearly doubled in the past decade. Chinese investment groups in particular are targeting land, sometimes strategically located near sensitive US military bases, raising red flags at the highest levels of national security. It all leads to one inescapable question. Why? Why this sudden voracious appetite for American land? And why does the year 2025 keep surfacing in their strategies and financial projections? Is this just smart investing in a volatile world, or are we witnessing the opening moves in a quiet reshaping of America's future, a battle for control over our most essential resource? From the rolling wheat fields of Kansas to the sun-drenched orchards of California, a story is written into the American landscape. It's a story of soil, sweat, and sustenance. For generations, this land wasn't just a place to grow food. It was the bedrock of rural communities and the foundation of the American dream, a promise that with hard work, you could own a piece of the country and build a life. This land, our nation's farmland, is more than just dirt. It is the source of our food, the guardian of our water supply, and in many ways, the quiet guarantor of our national security and our freedom. The United States holds roughly 895 million acres of farmland. That's a staggering 16% of the entire country. This isn't empty space. It's the living engine that produces the corn in our cereal and the cotton in our shirts. Historically, this engine was powered by millions of independent family farmers, each acting as stewards of their small piece of the nation. But that foundational model is vanishing. Today, a seismic shift is underway. The number of American farmers is in steep decline as the land rapidly consolidates into fewer, more powerful hands. The stark reality is that only a tiny fraction of people now control this vital resource, and that fraction shrinks every year, threatening the fabric of rural America. What's driving this? A modern-day gold rush, but for soil. In the last decade, the average price of US farmland has more than doubled, creating an insurmountable barrier for ordinary people. It's not young farmers buying, they've been priced out. The new landowners are a different breed. Wall Street investment firms, billionaires like Bill Gates, now the country's largest private farmland owner, and foreign governments buying up pieces of America to secure their own food supplies. This isn't a random market trend. It's a deliberate acquisition of America's most essential asset, a land rush happening in plain sight, faster than most of us comprehend. The stakes couldn't be higher. Who owns the land determines what we eat, how much it costs, and who controls our water. It's a fundamental question of who will hold power over the foundation of our society. The ground is shifting beneath our feet, and we need to understand why. To grasp the scale of this modern land rush, we need to look at the players. The names are familiar, but the size of their domains is staggering, representing a concentration of private land ownership not seen in over a century. Let's start with America's biggest farmer, Bill Gates. Through his investment firm Cascade, he has quietly amassed over 270,000 acres of prime farmland across 19 states. That's an area larger than New York City, 18 times over. The stated purpose is advancing sustainable agriculture. But critics question if this is philanthropy or a calculated move to control a vital part of the food supply chain, turning soil into just another asset in a vast portfolio. Then there's Jeff Bezos. While Gates looks to the ground, Bezos looks to the stars. His massive ranches in West Texas serve as the launchpad for his space exploration company, Blue Origin. These aren't idle properties. They are strategic assets in the new space race. And like many of his peers, Bezos often makes these purchases through a web of discrete LLCs, keeping the full extent of his terrestrial empire out of the public eye. Of course, some were in the game long before it was a trend. Media mogul Ted Turner owns over 2 million acres, primarily for conservation and reintroducing bison herds. He's rivaled by John Malone, another media titan who controls over 2.2 million acres of forests and ranches, making him the largest individual landowner in the US. Their focus may be conservation, but it's still a massive consolidation of natural resources. But it's not just individuals. Institutional investors, from Wall Street hedge funds to pension funds like TIA, now treat American farmland as the new gold, a stable, inflation-proof asset. These billion-dollar operations drive up land prices, squeezing out family farmers. Compounding this are foreign entities. The USDA reports Chinese-owned companies control over 384,000 acres. A controversy over a Chinese company buying land near a sensitive Air Force base in North Dakota sparked national security alarms and new state laws restricting such sales. The challenge? In many cases, true ownership is deliberately obscured behind layers of anonymous shell companies, making it nearly impossible to trace who really controls the land and why.